Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we're going to be talking about how AFK Journey has won iPhone Game of the Year award, which is of course a great accomplishment, and also the rewards we're going to be getting from this. And before we get into it, I want to apologize. I haven't been able to upload the most recent content from the Vietnam server today, and it's because I've been traveling for over the past 24 hours, and then I had to set up in order to even begin recording where I'm at right now. Okay, so iPhone Game of the Year. The cool thing is we're going to be rewarded. We're all going to be getting 10 invite letters, 10 epic invite, 10 rate up, and 10 stellar crystals. Out of all of these, I think, of course, the most, the rarest and the most desirable are the stellar crystals, which is nice. But I still think we do need more. I want the developers to continue to be generous and continue to give us out more stellar crystals, especially with the fact that we're getting 3 celestial hypogenes next season. But of course, this is a great start. So now I want to kind of talk about why I feel like AFK Journey is deserving of this title, and also why kind of I am still enjoying the game, and even after it's been out for 9 months, for example. And the first thing I want to talk about is, in my opinion, I look for games, especially mobile games as well, which respect your time. And for example, AFK Journey is a great example of that, because it's not a really grind heavy game, in the sense that you do not have to be, for example, playing this game all day off and on. For example, now all you have to do is log in, do your daily quest, do your dream realm attack, and then you can basically log off, and you're going to be able to keep up with and be as competitive as other players out there. There isn't a huge value, like for example this late in the season, for you to actively push AFK stages. And even early on, if you can't push AFK stages, as long as you can get up to maybe AFK stage 100, for example, you're kind of getting a pretty good resource income, and even compared to other people who might be hundreds of floors higher than you, they're not going to be getting that much more than you. So that is a really good thing. Also, they've made changes, for example, at the beginning of each new season, rather than being able to do all of the chapters pretty much unlimitedly, there's now a limit of 1 chapter, or 1 basically new area per day, which has been great for this season. It became, again, a lot less grind intensive at the beginning of the new season. Of course, the new beginning of a season is going to take the most of your time, and is your best point in time to be investing your time to progress your account. But basically they're taking measures so that it can allow you to, even with a lower time schedule, to be able to keep up and be competitive in the game, which I think is really important. I really like how that is being structured. And then this season especially, I think they really improved on last season by offering more overall content throughout the course of it. For example, we've had the 2 Primal Lords compared to 1 last season. We've had the Clash runs, and I really like that. And I kind of wish that would just continuously cycle. For example, right now, we only had it 1 time, but we have the guild supremacy continuously cycling. It would be really cool if you could have clash runs as well. Even though it does require a bit more time, you get rewards, and the rewards are well worth it, especially the guild coins you get, and then the stellar crystals at the end. So that was basically some really good things. And then I also think up until now, the game has been fairly free-to-play friendly, and this is an important thing. I think for the success of games, they have to have, of course, there has to be some monetization strategy, and of course, AFK Journey definitely has that. I mean, if you want to max out heroes, or even just build up all Celestial Hypergenes to Supreme Plus, you're going to have to spend a good amount of money. However, if, for example, you're a free-to-play player and you're really smart with resources, you can still kind of build up maybe half of the Celestial Hypergenes, or, well, actually not half, but basically 1 basically every season, or maybe a bit more than that, if you're talking up to Supreme Plus. And then for the regular faction heroes, if you're saving your diamonds for the raid up recruitments, you can recruit for usually at least 2 banners up to Supreme Plus. So really that's kind of a good thing, especially considering the fact that if you choose wisely, for example, in the last season, if you chose Lily May and Mikola for your 2 banners, and in this season Sonya and Tassi for your 2 banners, you basically have all of the key meta heroes. And so I really like that, and I think that is an important thing for games, like for them to be successful, because the vast majority of players are going to be the free to play or low spender category, and you need to have a healthy environment for them, and in order for them to continuously play the game, and you need that support basically by having many players playing rather than just people who are able to spend. So I like that aspect about AFK Journey. I think things which I really want to see for the future, and I'm hoping that they keep improving as they've improved this season compared to last season. I hope it just keeps getting better and better, basically, and not like becoming more like not becoming sort of stagnant, but always trying to look for improvements. And I think one thing which I would really like is more PvP game modes. I love the duel feature, but if we could also have duel for regular arena maps, like without the buff tiles, like a toggle mode, that's what people were suggesting. I think that would be great. And I like the tournament idea, which will be coming next season. I would also like it if there's like a fair tournament version where every hero is like locked in, maxed out at Supreme Plus. So no matter if you have Paragon 4 heroes or not, you basically are able to compete at Supreme Plus, maybe plus 10 exclusive equipment, because that is like a mark which even free-to-play players could hit, and then you could try to compete just based on strategy. And I think things like that would be really interesting. Of course, rewards along with all of this stuff, like for doing well in these modes, but I think that would just add more depth to the game and more strategizing, because PvP is a really basically end game for AFK Journey. It is a lot about PvP, and so if we can have more game modes for that, or more game modes to practice that, like the dual toggle mode, I think that would be great. Now, the other thing which I think needs to happen going forward is that there needs to be more catch-up mechanics in general for people who are starting the game late. For example, the major issue I see now is how do we get new people involved in AFK Journey if, for example, like if we're now in, for example, Waves of Intrigue season, a lot of people have collected like a fully decked out hero rosters, and so if another person is starting from scratch and having to catch up, it becomes pretty much an endless journey of catching up. And I guess one way around that is the fact that like heroes keep getting, in some ways, power crept or improved. And so, for example, like even if you could recruit Sonya for this season, it kind of improves your Dream Realm, and then the heroes which were previously used are not as important. But I do think that there needs to be a faster catch-up mechanic for newer players to get into the new season content quickly. Because when you're talking about, for example, a lot of people are going to be at the latest season, for example, Waves of Intrigue right now. And so a lot of content on YouTube is going to be focused about that. And just the whole game, basically the updates and new things going on in the game are all going to be related to that season. And if someone is not able to make it into that season, or for example, they're delayed, like maybe if they're still attacking the Plague Creeper Primal Lord, for example, for this season, I don't know if that's possible, it must be, right? Then you kind of feel like you could lose interest, you're not getting there fast enough to where everyone else is in the game. So I think that would be a really good thing if they can try to do that. And then, of course, making AFK stages less grindy by removing the multi-stages. That's one thing they're already planning to do, and I think that can be great. And also, I just think like the Dura Trials and the Charms are a great seasonal mechanic. Buff Tiles were an amazing seasonal mechanic. I hope they keep both of them, and just in the future, they just add even more mechanics. Like, I think that could be really great and really interesting. I think just basically keep pumping out and improving like the amount of content which is there, and also allowing catch-up mechanisms for players who have started late. I think those would be the key things, like in my opinion. Also, yeah, I mean, about the 3 Celestial Hypogenes next season, I really hope we're going to get more Glorious Chests, maybe as rewards for stuff. I think that could be great. And then also, if we can just get more Stellar Crystal income through some different means. Like, I would really like that to be added, or more, for example, purchasable from the various shops. Or even one thing I was thinking, like, your guild quests are basically capped out at the 7,000 guild coins. Like, what if they made this uncapped? Basically, then people could get up to potentially another 6,000 or so guild coins on top of the 7,000 you're getting right now. That could be another way to help you get Celestial Hypogene heroes faster without really, because I think The thing is, even though these things obviously will then make it easier for you to build things and then maybe less needing you to spend for getting these celestial hypergenes, I still think, for example, the people who are the high spenders, they're still gonna buy every value stellar crystal pack. I think this would just like maybe help like more lower spended players from actually building new heroes. I don't think if they added like some of these minor boosts to your guild coin income or to your stellar crystal income, that it would really change, like reduce the spending. I don't honestly think it would. I think still people are gonna spend, but it'll just be easier for the lower spenders to also be able to catch up with the celestial hypergenes being built. But anyway, guys, these are my thoughts. But basically, overall, I think AFK Journey is, in my opinion, but of course my opinion is biased, right? Because it's the only major game that I'm still playing from this year, but it has been the best for me this year, and I think these are some great reasons for it. And I really do believe in that first point I mentioned, which is respecting the time of the players, because I have played plenty of games out there which are very, very grind heavy, and for example, it just feels like in order to keep up you have to be constantly logged in and playing, and like those are the games that I feel like don't really respect your time, because it's just is like it is requiring you to be always logged in if you want to keep up or compete. So yeah, but thanks for watching, guys. That's gonna be it for this video. You can share your thoughts in the comment section of why you think AFK Journey is deserving of this trial, or any improvements you think could be made in the future to make it even better. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That's gonna be it for this video, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.